but I'll do my best. This one you may not have heard, but when I sing the first refrain or encore or whatever it's called, you will quickly learn the tune. So, and it's coming back several times. Just, you seem to be musical. Right? This one's written a few years earlier. She was only 59. Faucets are dripping in old New York City. The faucets are dripping and oh what they pity. The reservoir's drying because it's supplying the faucets that drip in New York. Okay, got it. The faucets are dripping in old New York City. The faucets are dripping and oh what they pity. The reservoir's drying because it's supplying the faucets that drip in New York. You can't ask the landlord to put in a washer. He'd rather you'd move than to put in a washer. The faucets are dripping, they sound in my ears. The tap in the bathroom's been running for years. The faucets are dripping in old New York City. The faucets are dripping and no one they pity. The reservoir's drying because it's supplying the faucets that drip in New York. There's a white streak of green in the sink in the kitchen. It comes from the real trickling out of the plumbing. The streams from the mountains, the pools from the Lee, all run from my faucet and down to the sea. The faucets are dripping in old New York City. The faucets are dripping and no one they pity. The reservoir's drying because it's supplying the faucets that drip in New York. You can't ask the landlord to put in a washer. You can't ask the landlord to mend the old stairs. He picks up the rent and he lives in Miami, where faucets don't drip and there's glass on everywhere. The faucets are dripping in old New York City. The faucets are dripping and no one they pity. The reservoir's drying because it's supplying the faucets that drip in New York. The faucets are dripping, the landlord's content. With every new tenant he raises the rent. Buildings can crumble, the tenants can cry. There's a shortage of housing, you live there or die. Let's hear it now. The faucets are dripping in old New York City. The faucets are dripping and no one takes pity. The reservoir's drying because it's supplying the faucets that drip in New York. They're building some buildings with fine city centers. It's sure work in hell with the low-income renters. They're jammed into rooms with the rat and the fly, where faucets don't drip and the floors never dry. Yes, last time, your last chance. The faucets are dripping in old New York City. The faucets are dripping and no one they pity. The reservoir's drying because it's supplying the faucets that drip in